The horizontal bar chart is another very high fashion chart. It's up there with the vertical bar and the line chart. I use this one an awful lot. I flippantly say I'll use it when I've got too many vertical bars in my dashboard, but there's much better reasons to use it than that. So let's look at some options for when to use this chart. As you can see here, we got lots of space for horizontal labels. So if you want to label and you have longer labels, great reason to use a horizontal bar. Another use is for nominal values. So we have to distinguish what is a nominal value from an ordinal value. So think of a nominal value as people, a count of employees by department, right? So we might say, in this example, our x-axis is our number of employees, and our y is department. And I'll just use the shorthand. And so each one of these doesn't really matter what order they're in, other than size. Now, if you look at the vertical bar, what we could do with a vertical bar is you could do it by category of, let's say, count of employees by age, right? So let's say if you have employees that are 0 years old up to 15, just say that was your labels here, and we had, 16 to 25, then that's an ordinal data set, right? So it makes sense to categorize them that way. That's when you would use a vertical bar over a horizontal bar. So a horizontal bar is for nominal values, not ordinal, not where the sequence matters. The sequence doesn't really matter here other than the size, okay? So we can use size a bit more effectively here in this visualization. Other things you can use this for are compositions and distributions of things. It's a good alternative to a pie chart. So if you find yourself having a pie chart with lots of segments in it, or just having a pie chart at all, you might want to explore the horizontal bar, because the vertical bar is not the go-to alternative because of the ordinal and the temporal sequence nature to it. So your horizontal bar is your go-to alternative for pie charts. And can be tree map as well, but we'll get into that in another video. So things you should do. Well, it's very similar to the vertical bar, right? We want to direct label where we can. So if we can, we'll label directly on the chart itself. We also want to order sensibly, and the ordering can help us highlight what's most important. So maybe the most number of respondents is the most important thing, so we're going to put that to the top. But maybe it's the least important, or maybe the lowest number is the most important, so we could flip that around. So order plays more of a role in this type of chart. Also, we have to manage the axes. It's always a concern with our charts, right? But generally speaking, this should start at 0 and go up to some value. And if we are going to skew the scale, right, we want to put it in a subtitle. So let's say we have our title here. We would just mention it in the subtitle of our chart that the scale is actually being skewed. Some things to avoid. Well, time series. It is not a natural way to present time. Any kind of ordinal value is generally better suited to the vertical bar. So anytime you're thinking of time or a sequence that one thing after the other, ordinal values, this isn't your chart. Vertical bar chart is the one to go to there. Too many colors, we don't need it. We can use color just to highlight what we think is most important, but adding more color to add more meaning usually isn't a good idea, a good option for this type of chart. And of course, 3D special effects, just not needed. So that gives you a sense of the use of the horizontal bar. Now, as always, so to make sure that it truly makes an impact, you do want to be having an appreciation for what question you are answering and what actions you're driving under what conditions. It's always very, very important for any chart. Before you even decide your chart type, you need to start with these and figure out the question you're answering and what action is it actually driving. So I hope that gave you a sense of the horizontal bar chart, how you can use it. And in later videos, you're going to see how we use this as the wider part of the dashboard wireframe kit using chart combinations and chart patterns, and you see how they work together.